Namaste and good afternoon, everyone. Showtime, Thursday, 4:30 p.m. Today is the 30th of January, 2025. And let us get rolling with this episode of the Diversey BW Hotelier GM Show Series, Season 3. This is episode number 13 in the fourth week of the season. And today we're in Jaipur with some of the finest general managers, the senior most talent, people who between them have hundreds of years of experience. And we have a very interesting topic. It's about heritage meets hospitality, maintaining standards in historic settings. Nothing better than Rajasthan when it comes to historic settings. And the Pink City is a melting pot of royal heritage, vibrant culture, and modern luxury. It stands as one of the most iconic destinations for both domestic and international travelers, but operating in such historic and culturally rich setting comes with its own set of challenges. And balancing authenticity with contemporary hospitality standards is a tall order and a huge task. But we deliver, and we deliver with aplomb. Our moderator for today, let's introduce him, is Ashok Singh Rathore. He needs no introduction. He's the area director operations and the general manager for perhaps India's best palace property, the Rambagh Palace. Welcome to the show, Ashok ji.
Good afternoon, Bhuvanesh ji. I think it's honored to join you and have on this panel. So very, very happy to be
the honor is ours.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you back. And we're lucky to pick on your mind and experience, Ashok ji. Thank you for being on the show. So, Ashok ji, let's set the stage for an engaging discussion on how heritage and hospitality come together to create an exceptional guest experience. We are today joined by 5 top-class general managers. Let me get rolling with Rajat Sethi, who's the general manager of the Fairmont, Jaipur. Welcome to the show, Rajat.
Hello, friends. Good afternoon, Mr. Khanna. It's an honor to be part of this panel. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being there. The honor is ours, Rajat. Next in is Devraj Singh, who's the cluster general manager for the Taj Amer in Jaipur. Welcome to the show, Devraj.
Thank you so much, Kamagani, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Khanna. Thank you, Mr. Rathore, for inviting me on this panel. Looking forward to it.
Kamagani, Devraj, pleasure is ours. And thank you for being there. Next in is Gorav Arora, who's the general manager of the Jaipur Marriott Hotel. Welcome to the show, Gorav.
Good evening, Mr. Khanna. Good evening, Mr. Rathore. Thank you for the invitation for this show, and look forward to this discussion. I think this is third or fourth time I'm on the show, and this is such a lovely platform to be with everyone on this. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words, Gorav, and thank you for extending us the pleasure of your company. Next in is Manuj Ralhan. He's the general manager of the Novotel Jaipur Convention Center. Welcome to the show, Manuj.
Hi, Bhuvanesh. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. And also a warm welcome to everyone else on the panel discussion today. Really excited and looking forward to contribute.
Thank you, Manuj. Last but not the least, Pradippta Biswaas, who's the Vice President Operations for the Radisson Jaipur City Center, and he's also the COO for the Ananta Hotels and Resort. Welcome to the show, Pradippta.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Bhuvanesh. Lovely to see all of you. It's good to catch up after a year plus. So lovely seeing all of us. Rajat is here. You are there. Good to see each one of us.
Thank you. Thank you. So we're anchored in by Ashok ji. Ashok ji, like I said, needs no introduction. He heads Rajasthan for IHCL, and Each of the speakers here, they bring valuable experience in managing and leading some of the most iconic properties in this rapidly developing region. Jaipur is, of course, top of the bucket list of most international and domestic travelers. Now, without much ado, and let me not delay, let's dive into the session and get rolling with the conversation. Ashokji, with your permission, if I
Sure.
may roll in with my first question to you, Ashokji.
Sure, sure, sir.
All right. Ashokji, Jaipur, with its rich heritage and global allure, attracts travelers with high expectations.
Sure.
High, we must note this, high expectations. How do you see the role of general managers in balancing the preservation of a property's cultural legacy with the demand of modern hospitality standards?
So, Bhuvanesh, as we know that, the intersection of heritage and hospitality is a delicate dance between preserving the past and embracing the present and also in the future. So here is the heritage. It is not is about experience. It is more than just a stay when guest comes to stay, and that goes with role of general managers in today's era. It is more about the custodian of heritage, which means that require the deep understanding of history. Of course, when the people comes and they would like to know, okay, the bygone era, preservation efforts. So every chief engineers come to our palaces. My first message to them or housekeeping that in palaces we don't do renovation, we do restorations, and it's a very difficult to restore. Okay, what we have. The third one is a great storytelling, because the art of storytelling which differentiate. All right. So with the difference like storytelling of the palaces, the storytelling of the culinary experiences, the storytelling of, I think, what used to happen, the way like it's all about each one palaces, the way they used to have the high tea, the dining experience, the celebrations, okay, the so on. The other one is for the role of balancing for general manager. It's to ensure the modern hospitality standards, because what has happened in the past is past, but we need to ensure that how we can redefine the luxury in the current times, because luxury is also evolving over the period of time, and the definition of luxury also been changing it over the period of time. I think today the world, when we're looking for a lot of what is happening across the world, especially on the climate change, the focus is on sustainability, okay, which include for every stakeholder, communities, everyone who's an integral part of it. How do we integrate the modern amenities also? Because when the discerning customer comes here, of course, when they're paying the premium rates, they expect, okay, better facilities and amenities. The next one is the culture immersions with the modern comfort, which include the authentic experience. And I think the one thing which is, it comes very, very vocally, and the voice of customer is that the authentic experience. It's include the culinary. Everybody is offering the lal mas, but is it authentic flavor?
True.
Everyone is offering the Rajasthani cuisine, but do we have authentic experience? All right, and it goes for everything what we do. It could be ritual, arrival experience, all right, for everything. So the next is culinary experiences. All right, lost recipe, okay, the signature recipe, and which include all. The next one is art and craft, because when you're talking about preservation, it's also, we need to ensure that art and craft has to be integral part of heritage and hospitality. The most important thing is for the general managers to balancing it, also to create awareness and create a learning culture for the staff. Because end of the day, you can have the great brand standard and SOP, but who deliver it, end of the day, the people on the shop floor. Okay. Because they are the brand ambassador. They are the custodian. So culture awareness, service excellence, and I think the pride and ownership, what they do it. That's more important. Balancing traditions and with the innovations. Like yesterday, we had done the opening dinner of Jaipur Literature Festival. We just done the hosting of polo of Rajmata Polo Club at the Polo Grounds. All right, the many other things which is happening at. All right. So event hosting and the finally listening to guests, which is very, very important. I think these are the by and large, which I feel it, and that comes to my mind.
Oh, very well said, Ashokji. You're very, very right. Look, heritage comes with a lot of detailing,
Yeah,
and we're not handling walk-in customers. We're handling guests who plan for long and for such destinations and locations, and they're not spending small money. They're
absolutely.
spending big greenbacks. Yeah, very well. So now let me not delay and stand between you and the speakers. I'll hand the show back to you, and you take it from here to the mid-session.
Okay, thank you, Bhuvanesh, for setting the platform right and setting the tone. And good afternoon, everyone, to all my colleagues. So we'll start in orders. Hello, Rajat.
Hi.
I know thank you for taking time and joining from Mumbai. Okay. So Rajat, I think the Raffles and the Fairmont, the both, I think that you have a perfect combinations now. It draws the inspirations. I think that's more about Mughal architectures and Rajasthani cultures. So what are the unique challenges do you face in preserving this design element while staying ahead in the competitive hospitality market? Over to you.
Hello, friends. Firstly, thank you for getting me on the panel here. So as we know that wedding is growing day by day, and wedding is a kind of business which is a lot of emotions are attached to the entire event. It is not just a transaction. So a lot of emotions from both the girls and the groom, the bride and the groom side. So their parents, there are a lot of emotions attached. So there are basically, if you look at it, there are three pillars to classify as a good destination wedding hotel. So connectivity is the first and foremost, then it comes food, then it comes hospitality, heritage. So what we are talking about.
Rather, sorry to interrupt you, but I think we were talking about more on architecture and Rajasthani culture point of view.
Yeah, I'm coming to architecture and heritage.
Right. Okay.
So our hotel, if we take the architecture of our hotel, so our hotel is not designed by an architect. Actually, it was done by an historian. So the gentleman who's designed the hotel, he's a historian by profession.
Right.
So he spent days at the forts and palaces of Rajasthan and Agra in Mughal, and we've picked up designs and structures from both the Rajasthani era and from the Mughal dynasty, and that's how the entire hotel has been conceptualized. But while the hotel was designed almost 15 years back, the areas which were kept in mind were that this will be a good big MICE destination. Nobody thought about weddings that time. So keeping that in mind, the kitchens and everything was designed. The open areas were designed in such a way that they will cater to big gatherings. So which has come handy now with the weddings booming. And as such, I don't see us any limitation over here. We got multiple venues. We got big kitchens to cater to more than 1,000 people. We do outdoor caterings as well because the kitchen infrastructure is such. So it's a very well thought of hotel and very well designed. So and we are able to give that heritage experience to the guest because of the architecture of the hotel. And now with Raffles also coming by, it's a entirely different kind of a hotel with a different experience altogether. So Raffles is more feminine design. We call it a Queen's Palace, and Fairmont being more masculine, we call it the King's Palace. So both the hotels are complementing each other, and we're doing good with the wedding business and even with the corporate MICE segment because of the design of the hotel.
Okay, so I think that's what you said very rightly, but I'm sure when we do the lot of weddings also, back to back, and there's a pressure on the property in terms of the maintenance and upkeep and to preserve the architecture. So you want to say something about it, at least to
So,
the
so
today?
yeah, what happens is the design of the hotel is such. So if it's a box structure kind of hotel, then the hotel tends to lose its sheen when it tends to get old. So the structure of the hotel is such. If you look at Fairmont, it's designed like a fort or a palace. So I would say it matures with age. It is not
Okay.
getting old. It is maturing. So
Okay.
though day-to-day maintenance, it's part and parcel of because we do high volumes. So we analyze what are the limiting factors for which could hamper the operation. Say for example, the linen. Generally in hotels, we generally keep 3 par of linen, but we do so many back-to-back check-in check-outs. We have as high as 6 par for linen. So if we look at the cutlery, crockery also, so we look at the limiting factors which could limit the operations, and accordingly we work on them so that
Okay.
it doesn't become a challenge for us when we do back-to-back weddings.
Okay, wonderful. So you've spoken about the wedding, you've spoken about the grand event. Can you share the innovative strategies or the offering that help the property to solidify its positions?
So as I started off also, wedding, we don't take wedding as just another transaction. So it is a lot of emotions are attached. So we also it's a very sensitive business for us as well. So we
Right.
make sure that we get at least minimum 10 days from each wedding. So for a wedding, generally in hotels, once the contract is signed, people move on to the next wedding. For us, our main work only starts after the contract is signed. So till the time the contract is not signed, when we are negotiating with the guest, we are thinking from here. But once the contract is signed, we're thinking from here. So it's coming straight from the heart. So it is clear instructions to our employees that jo kanyadan ho raha hai na, it's done by the hotel. So we have to keep that in mind when we are serving the guest that it is our wedding, and we just go all out. So there is no for weddings. So until unless it is unethical, illegal, or immoral, we don't say no for anything. So we are very flexible, and every event company also vouch for that, and they are very happy working with us.
Wonderful. Okay. So the good way that you narrated about, is a mix of the mind and heart. Okay. And when the both goes together, I'm sure that help us to create some magics. Thank you, Rajat.
Thank you.
Go to now the Gorav uh, from the Marriott. Hi, Gorav. How are you?
Very good evening, Ashok ji. Very good
Hi.
evening. All good.
Good evening. So I believe that Marriott is well established in Jaipur and are doing well as a modern property in the city, steeped in heritage. How does Jaipur Marriott enhances the local culture while maintaining its contemporary appeal?
So, good evening, everyone. Again, I've been a part of this city for almost last 2 years, and what a great city this is. I just love being into this city, the pink city of the country. What vibe and culture this city has. When I was moving from my previous assignment from Mumbai to Jaipur, a lot of my friends said that why Jaipur? It's a tier 2 city, right? Not even a tier 2, it's probably a tier 3 city. And living in a metro, moving to a tier 3 city, how would that be? Once I moved in here, I realized that Jaipur, while it is not a metro city, but it has every vibe of a metro city, which this city has to offer. It has great heritage, great culture. One of the good parts which I find about this city is the pillar of respect, which everyone in this city, it comes in from Padharo Mare Desh to the way
Right.
guests are fed in this city, right? They make you sit and then they serve from their hands of what you need to eat, right? So that all is about this city. The question here really is that how does a business hotel like Jaipur Marriott Hotel embrace or adapts the heritage of the city or what the city, what the state has to offer? So over here, I was to talk about my hotel, starting in from the welcome experience, which we do. And we cater to a lot of segments in our hotel. It's not only just a wedding segment. So whether it's a welcome experience, the elements of Kachi Ghodi or a Ravanhatta or a Dhol Nagada, all those
Right.
are incorporated into a hotel, which generally you do not see into a business city hotel, right?
Right.
The artifacts which are in the hotel lobby, the artifacts which we have at the poolside, the elephants and the mural which we have at the poolside, they
Okay.
all depict the Rajasthani heritage and the lineage which this city and the state has to offer. In the hotel, you've seen that there is a central water body which we have in the hotel. That water body depicts the 5 elements of nature. So Prithvi, Jal, Agni, Vayu, and Akash are all 5 elements are depicted into this water body which we have in the hotel. The retail shops. Now, the hotels generally have retail shops, but what we have in the hotel here in terms of the retail shops which we have, a guest really doesn't have to go out and if they want to shop something, whether it's some textile or some clothing, the block prints,
Okay.
Sanganeri prints, everything is available in the hotel. There are few shops which have the gemstones and the jewelry options also available for them to choose. One of the very prominent
Wonderful.
jewelers in the city have a counter at our hotel. The guest actually look there and then go to that shop, which is located at MI Road, and it's a very, very prominent shop. The blue pottery options, which the city is famous for, is all available at the hotel. A guest really doesn't have to go
So
out.
wonderful. I think is you're doing a lot on this.
Right. And coming about
Yeah.
food, now food is something which is very, very important for everyone.
Okay.
And like chai, I mean, I never thought tea would play such a big role. There are so many shops and counters of tea in the city.
Right.
We do a special chai counter during our breakfast buffet at the hotel, which is all about Rajasthan, right? That it has it's just not chai, it's the accompaniments which go with the chai, the kachori, the jalebi, the doodh, the live doodh counter which we do. Now, they're all Rajasthani things which are there. Now, as you rightly said, what I really liked about what you said, Mr. Rathore, is about one that in your resort, in your palace, not a resort, it's in your palace, it's not what you tell your team is it's not renovation, it is restoration, right? That's something very, very nice, which I learned today.
Yeah.
And yes, you rightly said lal mas, everyone in Jaipur, everyone in Rajasthan makes lal mas, but it's about the traditional lal mas, how it is made with the mathania mirch and the other ingredients, the kher sangri
Wonderful.
that go. So we have a special Rajasthani counter which we do and do for our guests, and the saffron restaurant, the Indian restaurant which we have, saffron, which is at the hotel, also has the traditional Rajasthani dishes into it. So in a nutshell, if I was to explain that, even though we are a modern business hotel who has been into the city for last 13 years, we've made every effort, the team has made every effort to imbibe and elevate the elements of
Wonderful.
local culture at various touch points at the hotel.
Thank you. Thank you for summarizing in a very apt way. Now, your hotel is also catering to both leisure, the corporate. Now, how do you balance the need of these two segments? Any way to create very cohesive kind of guest experience?
So, how do I say this? So Jaipur Marriott Hotel has a total of 374 rooms, which we have at the hotel. This is the largest number of rooms inventory which any hotel in the state of Rajasthan has. And it's all about the location. The location complements almost every segment of business which any hotel can probably get. So when we talk of corporates, We have some corporates who are 400 meters away from us and use us. We have some corporates who are probably 40 kilometers away from us and use us, and they continue to use us. From a meetings or a MICE perspective, we have space for a small meeting to a medium meeting to a large meeting and extra large meetings. I'm sure my colleague Manuj will talk about the extra large meetings.
This is more about the product, but just talk more about on the service design, that how do you ensure the guest satisfaction? Or
So I'm coming to that, right? So basically, every segment fits in well into the hotel, whether it's a corporate or a MICE or a wedding. I mean, Rajat, you talked about the Kanyadan. I mean, at the hotel here, I've seen 4 Kanyadans happening at the same time, same day, and yet there is no disruption in terms of any weddings which is happening in the hotel. Between them, there has been no disruption. From an airline crew, from a leisure inbound, somebody coming in to visit the Khatu Shyamji or some other temple around. Now, it's not a standard delivery which fits in every well, Mr. Rathore, which fits in well with every segment, Mr. Rathore. There are distinct experiences which we will have for FIT guests, and there'll be distinct experiences which we would have for the other segments of business. Something as simple as having 2 different porch, 2 different entries for the weddings or for the FIT guest at the hotel, having different venues for the meals, having overlapping blocks at the hotel. One caters to the FIT, one caters to the lobby and the restaurants, and one caters to the MICE block. Now, what is said, in a nutshell, what I would like to explain here is that it's not a standard delivery or one size which will fit all or which will fit every segment. However, it is important to be open-minded here. It's very important to be open-minded from a team or an associate perspective and create those experiences for the guest, have those storytelling for the guest, and ensure that those experiences are created, because as some time back it was said that there is a lot of investment of time and money which a lot of guests come into Jaipur or Rajasthan.
Understood. So
need
that's
to get
fine.
that value for money.
Yeah, that's fine. I think you narrated so much, so I think that should be compelling Bhuvanesh ji to come and experience your property.
Yeah, he's yet to come here.
He can't wait for too long. Okay, thank you.
So, Ashok ji, what we'll do is in the first round, we'll ask all the speakers their first question.
Done. So, Manuj from Novotel. So, hi, how are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Ashok ji.
In your hotel, you know, you have the large JCC conventions next to that one. And then recently we had a lot of the Diljit Sedhu to recently Ajit Singh, and we consider the MICE hotel. There's a key focus on Novotel Jaipur Convention Center. How do you incorporate the element of heritage into this larger scale of events to make them more unique and memorable?
So, Ashok ji, as you know, that we are a very, very MICE-centric hotel, and we are a very, very straightforward contemporary design as well. At the end of the day, with actually Novotel's latest designs has been incorporated in our hotel. So there are 4 different designs which are recently developed for Novotels, and we're one of those 4. And we're competing with heritage looking hotels, and obviously they become the first choice for weddings. So when we came in last year, we realized that we have to obviously make a unique mark in the market for us to be becoming a first choice for MICE. And we never saw Jaipur hotels as our competition. So we basically compete with hotels in New Delhi, in Aerocity, in Kochi, in Hyderabad, in multiple cities which have large conventions. So I think this presented a very unique opportunity in front of us. So first, if you'd see my MICE deck, my sales pitch deck, which I would send to every MICE client, it doesn't start with how many venues I have. It starts with Jaipur. It starts with the culture, with the tradition,
So what are you doing it about to make the unique and memorable experience for them?
Right, I'm coming to that. So I'm saying that it starts from there. That's that's the hook, right? When the guest looks at a presentation, he doesn't see a straightforward building structure or what venues or what are the prices, what are the room rates, etc. He sees what is the culture, what is the heritage, what is the tradition. Now, how do we tie that into ourselves? Is that we make a business trip. How can we extend that? How much can we extend it by? Maybe half a day or 3/4 of a day. and so that length of stay increases from maybe 1.5 to 2.5. So that is where all the sightseeing comes into play. Right now, how does that sightseeing, which maybe any other city also offers, is sold differently at our hotel? So we have something called the Instagram concierge concept. So if there is a mice which is coming in, we have an Instagram concierge. He connects with them and he tailors the entire trip, what to do, how to do, when to do, all these destinations in Jaipur. And also we go along with them and we know which are the most picturesque locations, like the Patrika Gate, which is there. That's an Instagrammable venue. So when to go and click pictures. So that's how we actually incorporate the heritage and culture. That's point number one. Point number two, because our venues are huge, we have these vintage car rides, which is again, a bride and a groom would do it in a wedding. We replicate that at the hotel complex, and we're able to give this for a conference guest. So I had an MRI conference going on right now, and at least 20 guests and all foreigners have taken the car from my porch and gone for a ride within the complex and come back. So, and it's not a revenue making exercise, it's more towards adding value to the guest experience. Gorav also touched base on breakfast experience and arrival experience. Most hotels in key metro cities would have a list of do's and don'ts. We don't have a list of don'ts. We only have do's. So the flexibility that the guest gets, I think that is a Jaipur culture, that you can do your decor where you want to do. At the arrival porch, you want to deck it up, please go ahead and deck it up, because like Gorav, at our hotel as well, we've got two separate arrival porches. So you can do, there's no restriction on you can't play the dhol, or you can't do this, or you can't place your creatives in the lobby.
So you're giving a lot of the leeway to the guest also. And
leeway to the guest. Flexibility becomes a key component. Now, if Rajasthan has got so many multiples of dance forms. So from Ghumar to Bhopa to Chang to Kalbelia, there are so many more to go. So we have a list of repertoire of these dancers, and we offer them on arrival or during their stay as well, if they'd like to make that performance as part of the entire experience. Then a pre-function area at the hotel is about
we'll have to do a bit of a hygiene check. I have to take a commercial break. We're actually 12 minutes behind schedule, so we'll have to cut our responses down. I have to take a commercial break.
Sure.
35 minutes to show, and we have to do a packet within that. All right, Mudit. Thank you, Diversey. Thank you, Diversey, for supporting the industry, for helping us to carry this show across to the widest range of hoteliers. So let's get back in with you, Ashokji. Ashokji, so we'll have to now pack our questions.
Understood. Not to worry.
2.5 minutes. All
right.
Bhuvanesh,
yeah.
All right.
So next to Pradippta. Okay, Pradippta. For the rest of people, my message is we always believe in luxury, the less is more. All right. So keep your answer in a similar way. All right. Yeah. So in Radisson Jaipur, the center, they cater to both business and leisure, travelers in the bustling urban setting. How do you create a serene and luxurious experience that truly stand out?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Rathore and Mr. Khanna. So
Right.
this hotel is a 20-year-old hotel and been there in the city. And this is not at all a wedding hotel. This is predominantly a FIT and inbound hotel. So balancing inbound with regular FITs can be challenging in season. So there are two different requirements, whether it's the meal preference, the kind of music that they want to hear. So you'll always have to be very, very careful whether it is the traditional welcome. Inbound loves the traditional welcome. Indians may or may not want it. So it's a very fine balance and the whole experience, what the music experience that you need to create, like what band that has to play in the outlets, we have to change if the ratio changes. Like in season, 70% is inbound for this hotel. So you have to keep balancing the whole element, whether it is the meals, whether it's the music, whether how we approach the guests, whether it is the whole arrival experience changes. So it's a very fine line of balance we have to continuously maintain and give the experience of Rajasthan to people who are coming in. And inbound has grown in this hotel in the last 2 years. So this year was a very good year for inbound. So giving them the experience is very important, which they can carry back.
Okay, thank you. Now the next one is to Devraj. The Taj Amer is it has a proximity to the Amer Fort. So tell us that how it gives the unique advantage, and how do you incorporate the fort rich history or legacy into the guest experience and storytelling. And also, you can summarize that the Taj brand is synonymous to luxury and tradition. So how does Taj Amer continue its legacy?
So thank you so much, Mr. Rathore, for this opportunity to answer this. For the benefit of the viewers, I would quickly give a background of the Amer Fort, which is almost 700 years old. And the Jaipur's Pink City came into existence around 400 years ago. So there are a lot of stories connected with Taj Amer Fort in particular, which we have incorporated at Taj Amer. So we all know that, Taj Amer, we call it as a gateway to the one of India's most iconic fort, which is Amer Fort, which is a UNESCO listed marvel that has witnessed the rise of mighty Maharajas, legendary love stories of like Bhola Maru, and the grandeur of the Rajputana heritage. And one of the most fascinating stories we bring to life is the tale of Dhola Maru. It is eternal. They were the eternal lover of Rajasthan, often compared to Romeo Juliet and Heer Ranjas and Soni Mahiwal. Through our immersive storytelling evenings, we narrate the poetic saga over candlelight settings, accompanied by local Manganyar singers, musicians, and these Kalbelia dancers who soulfully give these renditions of transport our guest to the bygone era of chivalry and romance. And our signature dining experiences includes one of a rooftop dinner experience where we compare it to the Sheesh Mahal, and it's a dinner which is under the stars. And also again, we have these musicians performing there. There is also a very historical rare track which people don't know about, is from Amer Fort towards Delhi. It opens right in front of Taj Amer. It is through the actually. It is still intact in bits and pieces. And it was the trek used by Maharajas 700 years ago to go towards Delhi. So there are, Bawdis, there are temples on that road. This trek is only 3 kilometers from the hotel to the Amer Fort. But it's what an amazing experience for our guests. We take them on this trek to make them feel like a Maharaja. There is also another very interesting story. If you give me 30 seconds more, sir. We all have seen in Pink City name of the shop Kader Baksh. There are 50 shops with the name Kader Baksh. They sell Jaipuri Rijai. So how it originated, it's a very interesting story, which we actually give it as a form of a duet to our inbound travelers, especially to give them that experience of a Jaipuri Rijai. So during earlier days, Maharaja had a team of people from Jain communities who were very good at mathematics, used to handle their taxes and collections and all the upkeep of their books. So they used to refuse to travel during winters because that community will not use any product which comes from animals. So they used to refuse to use a woolen blanket. So they will say that we won't travel in during winters. So Maharaja had one weaver. His name was Kader Baksh, and he gave him this job to create something from cotton. So he did this. If people don't know that it has 7 layers of cottons inside it. cotton sheets. And it is very lightweight, but magical warmth it gives. It was created by Kader Baksh. So Maharaja got so happy with him. That was the time Jaipur was being built, Pink City was being built. He gave him a shop there. So that was the first Kader Baksh shop, and now his descendants. So there are 50 Kader Baksh shops. So we have taken inspiration from that initiative of Amer Fort and incorporated in a nice sleep experience at Taj Amer.
Thank you, Devraj, for sharing the untold story and telling it what Jaipur is all about, and sharing this lovely story with our viewers. Now I think the floor is
Ashok, I'll
open.
roll in with one question for you, with your permission.
Sure.
Tell me, what are the biggest operational? I mean, you had a huge portfolio. What are the biggest operational challenges in blending history with contemporary tourism trends?
So I'll summarize in very short. The operational challenge is more on a structural limitations, because what it was designed in that, keeping it in the royalty in mind, but over the period of times that in terms of expansion, in terms of adding those new the facilities, is a challenge for us. Regulatory compliance is another become a challenge for us, and especially when you talk about the Diversey, is not a box kind of hotel, is a open palaces. So there's a lot of the regulatory compliances, because in terms of the rooms, like the palaces, which is about 78, but the total area is about 50 acres. So there's always from the challenge that how we can justify the water consumes in the property, though we have the STP and we use the water. So the many others which are there. Maintenance upkeep is the other one, which is because as the old with aging product, it always challenge that how we have to, without losing the essence of the soul and architectural. It's not about fitting, but how we can do retrofitting. That's remain the challenge, and getting those experts is in getting it sometime. That's a challenge. Better the balancing authenticity, okay, with the comfort. That's another one. Culture sensitivity is very, very important, because the people has to be well acquainted with the culture sensitivity, uh, meeting the guest expectations, because it's very easy to put the price, but delivering those promises, that remain the challenges, and especially when you charge the hefty amount of money from the guest also, and who come with higher expectations. Sustainability concerns, because it's preserving for everything's flora, fauna, okay, from architecture point of view, the communities, all right, supporting everyone who the key stakeholders. By and large, these are the operational challenges.
Thank you, Ashokji. That was good. I asked you this because nobody better than you to tell us about this. So let me hand it back to you till closure, and now you can ask Rajat.
Okay. So Rajat, back to you. I think that's now. Let us know that after this new edition of the Raffle, and with the Fairmont, because the Fairmont is well established as far as the wedding is concerned, but Raffle, which comes with the package of more than FIT. So I'm going to strike the balance between these two.
Rajat, you're muted. You're still muted, Rajat.
Can you hear me now? Sorry.
Yeah.
So in fact, even before the Raffles opened, we've started catering to all the segments at Fairmont as well. So Fairmont predominantly was catering to weddings, and but now we've opened all the tabs. So we are catering to inbounds, to corporate mice, to FIT travelers as well. So with the addition of 50 rooms at Raffles, both the hotels are complementing each other. So we take our total inventory for the complex as 295 now. So we do combined weddings, we will do combined inbounds, we will do combined corporate mice. So both the hotels will be complementing each other. They will add strength to both the properties.
So, what I want to say that, which is when you're talking about the Raffle, the price difference between the both will be different. Okay. Over luxury and luxury is all about it. So I'm talking about that perspective. How do you manage it?
So price difference is there, but in every property you have suites also. Suites are priced higher than the other rooms. So it's like suites there. It's all rooms are like suites only. 750 square feet is the minimum room size. So both the hotels, whenever there's a requirement for a larger inventory wedding, we will be selling together. But otherwise, Raffles predominantly will be a FIT and inbound hotel. And for Fairmont also, now we've started catering to other segments also. So we started getting an inbound for Fairmont as well. So we will get a wider price range to play with. So the minimum could be starting at 30,000 and going up to 1.5 or 5 lakhs for the presidential suite there. So we get a wider margin to play, but we've taken a conscious effort now to cater to all the segments for both the
Okay.
properties.
Wonderful. So what about the experience point of view, both Raffle and Fairmont? Is it same or is it different, and different in what way?
So both the properties are in Jaipur. So heritage, culture, food, hospitality is the same. So it's the product. So
Yeah.
that's a much far superior product. It's a new hotel, new product. But as far as the experience is concerned, so it is in the same vicinity, complementing each other, as I said. So Raffles is a more intricate product. It's for more intimate weddings also when we do weddings independently for that property. And Fairmont, as I said, is a more masculine product. It's a more which hotel which is will be for bigger events. And in case of more intimate events, it'll be done at Raffles.
Okay.
Inbound, high-end FIT travelers, so board meetings. So this is where the Raffles going to happen.
Thank you. Thank you, Rajat. Over to Gorav. Hi, Gorav. Now we know the city is growing by the leaps and bounds, and a lot of the new product which is coming up, and each one is going to be claims to the custodian of rich heritage and the history. Uh, in the ever-changing times, that how do you going to ensure that how we raise the bar when it comes to guest experiences? And is anything more to do with the heritage part of it, or especially on cultures, over and above what you're doing currently?
Well, Mr. Rathore, so what the question is that what would we do over and above what we
Yeah.
do right now in terms of creating those experiences for the guest and ensuring
No,
that.
I'm talking about the when landscaping or the competition changing it in that
Right.
scenario also.
Mhm.
Because what you're doing it, everybody is doing something similar. So
Right.
like Kachigodi, you're doing it, everybody doing Kachigodi. So what is the
The
differentiation?
important part is that be caring for the guest, right?
Right.
It's important to be caring for the guest, ensure that you put your heart into what you're doing, create those wonderful moments for the guest, create those wonderful opportunities, hospitality for the guest. Be a storyteller. I think someone of us talked about the storytelling part, which is so important in terms of a guest experience into a hotel and into the city. More than the hotel, it's about the city also. What I really liked about was the Instagram concierge. I think Manuj, you spoke of the Instagram concierge. That's such a cool concept, right? Now, these are the innovations which I think every one of us need to do to stay ahead in terms of what the competition is doing, number one, to ensure that the city looks good, the state looks good in terms of what the experiences we are creating, right? Be extraordinary, be open-minded in what you do. Right. So those are the important aspects which I think every hotelier, and I'm assuming that there'll be a lot of young students who would be looking at this, the young hoteliers who would be looking at this. So be open-minded, be extraordinary, be a storyteller, be caring, and create those wonderful hospitality moments for every guest.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Gaurav. So Manuj is you've been talking about the Novotel and it's more about MICE, and you're saying that you don't have competition from any other property in the Jaipur, but you have the in front of the Intercontinental. Okay. How are you differentiating this between these two, and especially keeping it heritage and unique experience in mind?
So, Ashokji, I didn't say that we don't have competition. What I said is that we don't look at them as competition. We compete with different cities because when we have to sell JECC, it's such a big product. We have to get the other hotels together and aligned. because when we're competing, JCC, every hall is a lakh square feet of space. We've got 8.5 lakh square feet of open exhibition space. So to sell all of this, if we don't get collectively collaborated in and aligned, we won't be able to sell it. So if you look at what we've done in the last a year and 2 months, we've actually managed to position not only ourselves, but Jaipur as a premier MICE destination in India.
Okay.
And we realized that Intercon and Marriott, they're next door to us, and we together are about 750 keys. So I was talking about the conference that I've executed. 2,000 top MRAI clients were here who paid upwards of 1 lakh for a room at our hotel. And yesterday and day before yesterday, and we had rooms at Intercontinental. They'd taken rooms at the Radisson. They'd taken rooms at the Marriott. Now this, if we sell separately, maybe this conference
That's
moves out
fine.
to Delhi or it moves out to a different city. But because we're selling it collectively and we come together and we
That's
give a
good.
price point which is workable for the end client, is when we're able to close such a
So
conference.
Manuj, my more thing is all about that. Are you confining all the experiences within the boundary, or want to give a flavor of the city is also?
Oh, absolutely. So I'll tell
You have a Chokidhani next to you. That's the many other places. Okay,
So I'll tell you, Ashokji, what we do is like you said, Chokidhani. We have an experience called Dharti Thurari.
right.
It means the land of the desert. So our poolside is 20,000 square feet. So one of the dinners happens at the pool, where we actually create a virtual Rajasthani land, desert, and village.
Wonderful.
And we've tied up with 200 local housewives in and around Sitapura area. They come and they cook that meal along with our chefs. So guests not only experience the the local flavors that we cook as a hotel, but also these local ladies are cooking. Now that also adds up in sustainability, because we are actually opening up employment for otherwise these housewives would not get an opportunity to come and display their skill set. So I think that is something very unique that we do here, which is unique to Jaipur, and I'm sure many other hotels also do that, which doesn't happen in other cities.
So over to Pradippta. I know there's a growth of inbound tourism is going to increase, and the time is going to come, and especially the post-pandemic. Do you have any plan that how are we going to tap the high potential or international market?
The growth is there, but I think we'll have to take care of them because it is just Jaipur that we are currently promoting. But as for Ananta hotels, we have hotels in Pushkar, we have our latest hotel in Ajabgarh, we have a new hotel coming up in Jaisalmer. This market also needs to be promoted by the tour operators because it will give revenues not just for Jaipur but across Rajasthan. So I think that is something as a body we should all promote, not just one destination but destination moving forward, so guests stay longer in Rajasthan. That's very important, but taking care of them is very, very important. And profile of inbound has changed in the last 3 years. If you have noticed, it's more senior citizens who are traveling. It is not the younger generation but who are 75, 80. The US nationals are very, very old who are coming in now. So the consumption pattern has changed, the eating pattern has changed, how they move about has changed. So better facilities definitely to promote inbound will be needed from all of us, and taking care of them very, very important because we are representing the country and they're coming to us. So safety, security, health, everything has to be taken care of.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And Devraj, Taj Amer, how will continue to it's appealing to the modern travelers and while yet seeking the unique experiences. Just summarize in short, so because of positive times.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Sir, as rightly said by you, that we are custodian of heritage. At Taj Amer, we blend this legacy with modern indulgence. Today's traveler is looking only for authentic cultural emotion, and we provide this history into every touch points of their stay.
Okay.
Whether it's reviving Rajasthani cuisine, lost recipes like gulab ki kheer and Govind Gatta and khadmurg, etc. We do all that. The art of Amer Fort, which was the Chittar art, we have done a beautiful job on that. All guests talk about it. Blue pottery, we give them as a souvenir to all the guests who are leaving, at the time of their farewell, we do that. So basically, history is not just narrated, it is relived here, whether through the widespread legendary story of Dola Maru or flavors of forgotten dishes or artisans' hand touch or a piece of pottery. We ensure that every guest carries a
Okay.
story, a tale of Rajasthan grandeur forever, etched in their hearts.
Okay, wonderful. So, thank you so much. And there's quiz time with the permission
So
of Bhuvanesh.
so I think these responses were so succinct, very crisp, and very pointed. What is more valuable, Ashokji, is being able to tell the audience what this industry means and it has to offer,
Right,
right? Because we're talking about cutting edge luxury, we're talking about cutting edge guest experiences, and also reassuring the industry that this industry sits well in very secure,
right,
hospitable, and experienced hands,
right.
right?
Thank you.
So Ashokji, with your permission, why don't we do a quick short quiz with
Yes, sure.
3 minutes to go before I hand back the show for you to close?
Right.
Gentlemen, tell me what percentage of Rajasthan's total inbound tourism does Jaipur account for annually?
35%, I guess, should 35 upwards or 40.
Almost 60%.
I think it's almost above of 70, 75, maybe 80%.
Dev?
Because Jaipur is Jaipur, right? A lot of
Yes.
guests who do not go to Jodhpur or Jaisalmer. It's primarily Jaipur, Jaipur. So
Acha,
maybe
It is
you'll be
close to
surprised. You'll be
80%.
surprised.
80%.
अच्छा तू बोल चुका है ना?
80 for me also.
80.
प्रदीप?
85 for me.
85 for me.
ओके अशोक जी आपको तो पता ही है सर, आप
Yes,
तो
sir. I think it's roughly it's about 35%. So,
yeah, 35% is the right answer.
right.
Yeah. And also tell me, what is the approximate number of domestic and international tourists visiting Jaipur?
Domestic and international, both.
Both.
I know the number.
5 million,
और
50
बोलो,
lakhs, 50 lakhs above.
और बोलो.
I think that the property which is close to airport should have better answer.
नहीं आप तो बोलो ना.
Both, this city witnesses almost a 50%
मेरे
growth.
को नंबर चाहिए, ये ज्ञान नहीं चाहिए. नंबर कितने लाख?
0.5 million
Above
upwards.
15 crores, maybe above 15 crores.
15 crores. I think around 10 million. Around a crore.
Around a crore.
All right, let me stump you on. It's 4.5 million annually.
Which is 45 lakhs.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, I was closest.
Yeah, you were closest, Dev. So, all right. So, Ashok ji, let me hand it back to you for closure.
So, Bhuvanesh, thank you. And thank you, everyone. The Rajat, Gorav, Manuj, Pradippta, and Devraj. I think our discussion went off very well. And each one have spoke through the heart and very aptly. So I truly appreciate and I admire the understanding for the heritage and also for the hospitality. And that shows that why the Jaipur is growing and making its a buzz on the global, because all collectively what we do it. Rajat, thank you. I think for speaking about maintaining that Mughal and Rajasthani theme, and while staying competitive and ensuring the guest experience. I think so. You touch upon rightly. Gaurav, you highlighted how the modern hotel connect with the Jaipur heritage and through F&B and culture elements. So I think that was very insightful. Manuj, it's more about discuss about incorporating heritage into MICE and offering us strategies to drive the conventions to Jaipur, the pink city. Mr. Pradippta is, I think, thank you for sharing the strategy for the balancing the business and the leisure segment and implementing a sustainability into operations. And Devraj, thank you for talking about a story. And I'm sure we have a different sessions with you for the storytelling. Maybe in JLF is going on. So we'll request the organizers to invite you as a storyteller, okay, representative for the Jaipur. Thank you for talking about the historic charm of the Amer Fort and the hotel role is curating unique experiences. And from bottom of my heart, big thanks to all panelists for your valuable contribution and participations. Thank you.
Just one thing, if I may just add, I'll take 5 seconds more. It was and a message from all the general managers here as well to Bhuvanesh that, we talked about heritage. And I think it starts, if we all notice, we use the word G. Every word that anyone that we acknowledge here in Jaipur, we use the word G. And that is a testimony to the fact that, how we build in or knit in heritage into our everyday affair. It starts right from there.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Manuj. My mind starts and stops with Ashok ji. When it comes to doing a show on Rajasthan, more especially Jaipur, Ashok ji is not just a workhorse, he carries the weight of this industry on his broad shoulders. He has given to this industry, and of course, the industry has given back to him. Don't go by his black hair, right? Go by the firmness and thickness of his palms and hands. He has done it all. He started from where to where he is today. So I think let's put our hands together for Ashok. I think he is a true doyen of this industry. And he's somebody we all look up to. Ashok ji, thank you for once again anchoring this show. It's an honor to have you here. And look at the wonderful properties that he heads. One of them sits behind him. These properties have no value, that we can count on or measure, right? So thank you for moderating this session wonderfully. It's been truly an honor to have Ashok ji here, Devraj, Rajat, Gorav, Pradippta, Manuj, all of you on the session. It's an honor for BW Hotelier to host you all. And we've had a wonderful session. I wouldn't hold back. How we recovered towards the end is what the trick that they do in T20s and one-day internationals. So tricky questions, good questions, brilliant responses. And you people are great ambassadors for this industry, for all the youngsters who are part of hospitality schools or who are looking to get into hospitality schools and this industry. Look at these gentlemen. They should be your mentors. They should be your icons. You must emulate them. You must strive to get into their feet. And more than anything else, in the spirit of the Guru Shishya Parampara, right? If you reach out to them, everybody will be willing to hold your hand. They will be more than willing to hold your hand. If you can't reach out to them, get to me, I'll connect you to them, right? Come under their Chhatrachaya and go places. Now, before we end the show, let me thank Diversey, thank you once again. Let me also thank Team BW and Team BW Hotelier for all the back-end work that you're doing. And we're doing back-to-back shows. We come back in another 25 minutes, a short Diversey video before we close the show. Thank you once again, Diversey. Ladies and gentlemen, this season 3, the Diversey BW Hotelier GM show series, we have 2 shows a day, every Thursday and every Friday, 4 shows a week. And mark your calendar, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. through January which finishes tomorrow and into February. All right. Thank you once again, Ashokji.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Sir
you.
Bhuvanesh and
Rajat,
my colleagues.
Thank you.
Devraj,
Thank you.
Pradippta,
Thank you, everyone.
Manuj,
Thank you so
Gorav.
much.
Thank you all for being there. And God bless you. Do well. Khamagani. Namaste.